my name's Taylor Walsh. I'm the manager at our Music Man in Port St. Lucie, and today we're lucky enough to have our low brass product manager, Chuck Kerrigan from Eastman.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So we've been hearing a lot about Eastman's low brass products. So I was just wondering, what are some products that would be good for middle school and high school directors?
Yeah, we have a complete line of instruments from beginning entry level all the way up through professional. And I think some of our best models are the ones that are designed for middle school age and elementary age kids. It's where we started. That was where our first focus was to make sure that we provided really exceptional quality products at an affordable price that was designed for that level. So we make three-quarter tubas, and that's the size instrument that you would start a beginning tuba player on. And we have one that is going to be 3 valves up top, played like a euphonium. We have another one that is a 3-valve front action instrument. And then we have a 4-valve front action instrument, which is really a nice intermediate instrument for the advancing student that hasn't quite grown into a full-size instrument. So that's our model EBB 231 is the upright, or EBB 234 is the front action. And that's my personal preference. I think when you're starting a student out, it's a lot easier to put them on a front action instrument because a lot of times students aren't big enough to hold an instrument upright. So if they have to tilt it, this is much more correct or ergonomically correct than doing this. So I really like our EBB 234. And then we have our EBB 226 is our 4-valve front action instrument.
Wow, that's excellent. Do you guys have any student model euphoniums that would go with the tubas?
Yes, we have a couple of student model instruments. There are 3 of them. We have a EEP 321, which is your basic 3-valve bell upright, and it's just a tremendous workhorse. It's a great place for students to start. It has a smaller bore than a professional instrument, so it's really set up for beginners to excel and progress. And then we also have a 4-valve version of that instrument as they get a little bit more advanced, and that's going to be our EEP 421, and that's going to be 4 valves up top. And then we have a 3 valves up top, one on the side, 426, which you actually have right in front of you if you want to show the camera.
Okay, so this is our 3+1 non-compensating model.
Correct. Yeah, the EEP 426, this is one of my favorite instruments because it has a big euphonium sound, but it's still set up for younger players to play, and it gets them used to holding it in the fashion that they'll need to when they move to a compensating instrument.
Awesome. So I find it interesting that B-flat tubas come in different sizes. So why is that?
There are a couple reasons that tubas come in different sizes. The first one is just because of the size of the player. So when you start out a student in 4th or 5th grade, they can't handle a full-size instrument. And so you start them on a smaller instrument, and that instrument's going to be smaller in bore, and it can be wrapped tighter and made more to fit their size. Another reason you might play on a smaller instrument is that it's a smaller ensemble. So if there's only 3 or 4 people playing or 5 people, you don't want a massive instrument because it's going to really be easy to overpower that group. And then also if you're playing in a pit where there's a roof right above your head, sometimes it's hard to fit a full-size instrument in there. So it's convenient to have a smaller horn. And so that's one of the reasons that they come in different sizes. And then obviously the opposite is true. If you're playing in a larger ensemble, a lot of times it's easier if you have a bigger instrument.
Okay. Since most students start on 3/4 tubas, at what age or point would they move up from there?
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say by the time most people are in 8th grade, they're ready to be on a full-size instrument. And I think that's also a good time to get them on an instrument with 4 valves as well, because that's really going to help them with intonation issues that are just common to tubas.
Okay. So yeah, they'll be starting to play harder solos,
Yeah.
so it'll help them out.
Yeah, extended range lower where they'll need the extra tubing. Yep.
So in middle school bands, I see a lot of lacquered instruments, but here I'm seeing all silver. So is there a benefit to one or the other?
No, I think finish a lot of times is a personal preference thing, but in the school setting, silver costs more. I mean, it's money. We make, so if they can save money, a lot of times schools will buy a lacquered instrument. From a playing characteristic, the silver might add some high overtones, so it might sound a little bit louder or project more. But for all intents and purposes in schools, I think sticking with lacquer is the way to go.
So we talked about tubas in different keys. So when should a player get a high tuba?
So when a student is serious about tuba and they go to school for that, usually you're looking somewhere in your undergrad is when most people end up buying an E flat tuba or an F tuba. If they're really serious, sometimes a kid will get them in their senior year of high school, depending. But more times than not, it's end of undergrad, beginning of grad school.
Okay. Thanks for being here, Chuck.
Thanks for having me, Taylor.
For more information about Eastman Tubas, you could give Music Man a call at 772-466-8764 or contact me at taylor@musicmaninc.com.
Hey Music Man viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on the link down here and find our newest material by clicking over here. Thanks for watching.